YouTube has decided to be a little annoying, so we will upload this after the meeting. So good afternoon, everybody. It is 1 p.m. I can confirm we do indeed have quorum. Currently absent from the committee is Councillor Tozo, Ms. Bailey, Ms. Borowicz, River Hill, and Mr. Phillip. And with that, I'm happy to turn it over to you, Mr. Chair, to get the meeting started.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Thank you very much. We'll call the meeting to order at 1:01 p.m. Can I have approval of the agenda, please? All right. First, moved by Ian and seconded by Jackie. All those in favor? Oh, just waiting to see some hands there at the videos or the hand icon. Okay, and that is approved. Thank you very much. Confirmation of the minutes, that the minutes of Housing and Homelessness Advisory Committee meeting number 04-2024 held on Thursday, June 13th, 2024 be approved. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that, please? Moved by Jackie, seconded by Ian. All those in favor? Okay, and that passes. Thank you very much. Okay, are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Okay, seeing none. We have a delegation today. Mr. Ben Kennedy, Travis Blackmore, and Jeff Babcock will present and speak to the committee regarding Lionhearts program at 38 County Street and the head leasing program. Mr. Kennedy and co, please take it away.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for giving us the time to be here today. We do have a slide that we prepared just to give some updates on currently what we're doing. We do know we're limited on time to be able to also answer some questions. So on the screen, you'll see that we have some of the details about the 38 County Street shelter, otherwise known as the Adelaide shelter. We do have 60 spaces there. Lionhearts runs and manages this shelter and every aspect of it. We are at full capacity most nights, and we just actually recently installed some new flooring in the bistro at no cost to the city, using some donated supplies from some of our partners, as well as the labor of our current facilities team. I've got with me Jeff Babcock, who is also he's our interim director of supportive housing and shelter. So he's going to also speak to some of this, including our head leasing initiatives. We have a low rate of major incidents, where incidents do happen at the shelter, and there are complaints in the community as well about things that are going on. We have a very low rate of serious incidents, such as overdoses or other urgent situations that require police intervention. When we do have bylaw and police that we rely on to be able to be here to help address. We're providing staff with de-escalation training in partnership with the city and some of their recommendations at some point in this quarter. We also at the County Street are just developing the weekend day programming. We kicked it off in March of this year, where we're offering 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. Day programming here at County Street on Saturdays, Sundays, and now stat holidays as well. So we've just worked with the city to develop a new program on how we'll implement this with some very intentional community engagement programming that we hope to offer to be able to share with the local community about some of the things we're doing. I'll just take another few seconds here before I hand it over to Jeff. But one of the things we've encountered here at County Street is that there is a lot of negative pushback within the community that we hope to change. And so part of that is we want to put together a small community barbecue, allow some of the residents to see the programs and pieces of what we're doing here, and that the focus is to integrate members who are experiencing homelessness, citizens of the community, to be able to be contributing members of society. And so that's part of our goals with the County Street Shelter, to be able to engage community. Jeff, if you want to talk about the head leasing program.
Yeah, so on the left side of that slide, the shelters really for us is a major point of intake for people to eventually make their way towards transitional housing, because we have a focus on wanting to have a holistic program where people have the opportunity to, kind of migrate from, the fundamental place of the shelter into transitional housing and into eventually independent living. Not everyone will necessarily be able to do that, but we do definitely target people in the shelters who are good candidates for that, and work to house them. And there are a number of other intake points for the housing program as well. We have 26 people in units right now across 8 different locations that we have under management, 4 new clients in the past month. And we're basically limited by our capacity of housing right now. But we are really trying to expand that as quickly as possible. So we've got 13 additional units that are coming online very soon. One is at a Brock Street property that we have just recently finished some of the legal negotiations to acquire. And that'll give us 8 beds. And then we've got another 5 coming at a Sydenham Street property that's just in the midst of renovations. We've had a few delays there related to asbestos and other sort of construction issues that we've had to face, but looking to bring those things online very quickly. And I missed the bullet point also about the target being a 1-year placement. Half of the tenants in our program right now are under 6 months in the program. And the remainder kind of fit into the remainder of the year. But there are 2 exceptions to that. A couple of people now that are kind of at the 13-month-ish point that we're actively working to transition out. And we've got a number of other ones coming up in October and November timeframe as well. And we've already started working to try and see if they can find sustainable solutions for independent living, and been having some successes in that regard.
Just to give you, it's 30 seconds, please.
Excellent. And just a few quick points about head leasing. One of the positives is we're working with other agencies to be able to help place into our programs, as they also have some special needs. The city has asked for some help with some of the programs that are winding down. And we're also looking at providing vocational program. So some of the occupants in our program are currently in vocational training with us or other agencies where they do have some employment, which is a big part of the success of the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your presentation and for coming as a delegation today. Are there any questions from members of the committee with regards to this delegation and their presentation? Tara, please go ahead.
Sorry, you might have said this and I might have missed it. Can you explain the head leasing a little bit more?
Yeah. So essentially, we have an agreement with the city that currently goes until the end of December of this year, where council voted on allowing up to 50 participants, program participants, to be funded through the program. Every individual who comes into the program are given a $400 a month subsidy that's paid to Lionhearts that goes towards their rental cost. What we do in the program is we work with ODSP and other funding programs that they have to be able to make it a manageable cost at lower than market rent. And we provide program support through caseworkers as well as administrative staff and things to ensure the program runs healthily. And the city also provides a one-time it's called a top-up fund when someone's moving into the program of about $2,500 to be able to help with some of the initial things and ongoing work with people in the program. One of the fundamentals of the program is that Lionhearts is the tenant on any agreements we have with landlords. So that program participants are signing a program agreement with Lionhearts to be in the program. So they're able to be moved in and out of properties. They are not tenants themselves. And it's very clear about the way that the structure of the program works to accomplish that. We work very closely with individuals to help give them some different training and life skills, budget financial assistance, job training, those kind of pieces. And so that's really where the success of the program has been. Currently, we have one person who is transitioned out of the program into their own tenancy, which is one of the big success pieces of what we have, because they have stable employment and other pieces like that. So that's essentially what the program is. We're at currently 26 out of the funded up to 50 that we have by the end of this year.
That's fantastic. Can I ask one more little question?
Of course, yes. You have a follow-up question.
That sounds fantastic. How do people get into where do the referrals come from? Are they coming from the program already, or can external providers provide referrals?
So ultimately, we are working with frontline agencies. We have people that come in through the County Street, Concession Street Shelter. We also have agencies who will reach out when they have people that may fit into the program. So there is a small waiting list right now that is it's a waiting list because of the fact that we have people ready for the program, but we don't have space to move them into yet. So we do take referrals that go through to our team from other agencies. I can think of a few agencies right now, not off the top of my head, who have brought some referrals that we've been able to help. I think Providence Care was one of them.
Providence is a big one. Another one would be the city themselves have reached out relating to the sleeping cabins program that's coming to an end and helping us to find places for people that were in that program as well.
Thank you very much. Ian.
Yeah, sorry. First, I just want to thank you guys for everything that you do. But I also wanted to ask, I noticed on the slide it mentioned that the Concession Street Shelter is closing in November of this year. And I just was wondering if you could elaborate a bit on that. Was it a case where it was determined that it was no longer needed, or was it an issue of resources, or was it an issue of maybe just reallocating resources?
Is it fine for us to answer the question about concession? Because I know that wasn't on our agenda for what we were talking through today. Just wanting to make sure that I follow protocol.
Mr. Clerk?
Yeah, as it's within the mandate of their discussion, I think that's totally fine.
Okay,
Perfect.
thank you.
So essentially, City Council has determined that they would only operate one site for transitional housing within the Concession Street community. It was a promise made to community. And so at that point, Concession Street has been operating as a temporary warming shelter. However, with the wind down of the Oaks Motel program, they're being moved into a facility on Concession Street that's currently being renovated. So this times in with when that is being activated. So it was at the request of council that the wind down of that program is happening at Concession Street.
Any additional questions, Ian? He appears to be frozen. Well, if Ian has any additional questions, once other committee members have spoken, then we can return to him. Are there any other questions for the delegations? Jackie, please go ahead.
Hi there, thank you. I just wanted to check, was there anything else that you had wanted to mention in your presentation, in your slideshow, but didn't have a chance to, because I know the timing comes up real fast when you're doing a presentation like that?
We were essentially asked to provide an update on these two particular programs. We're currently meeting with the housing department once a month. And so we have a meeting later today to follow up on some of the other projects and programs Lionhearts does. We're happy to come and present on any of those. But for now, with County Street and the head leasing, as we mentioned, head leasing, the current iteration ends at the end of this year, but we're in the process of looking at extending that and expanding that as we can. So we'll be working with city council on what that looks like.
Thank you.
If committee members can please have their video on, that would be appreciated. Thank you. Just for ease of sharing. Are there any other questions from members of the committee for the delegation? Okay, seeing none. Thank you very much, Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Babcock and Mr. Blackmore for your presentation. Yeah, I would simply ask if you could please send to the clerk a copy of that slides for reference. That would be greatly appreciated.
Yep, the clerk actually shared it, so we did.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Very
good. Thank you again.
That'd be nice.
Okay, moving on. There are no briefings. We have business. There's one item, the standing update report, August 2024. Report of the Commissioner of Community Services is attached. And I do believe that our new Director of Housing, Director Hartley, will be giving this presentation. This is her first time. So Take it away, Director. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Through you, Chair Ridge. I'm happy to be here. I joined the city a few months ago, so really excited to be part of, be here representing the city at this committee. I'm happy to present our standing update report for August 2024. This is just for your, it is organized into 3 sections: homelessness services, social housing programs, and affordable housing programs and initiatives. We're happy to highlight one is on the additional residential unit, the ARU initiative that was approved by council on Tuesday, the launch of that, and that's included in terms of details here. So I would ask if there's any questions on this that we can help or answer.
Thank you very much, Director Hartley. I hope everybody's had time to review the reports. Are there any questions for Director Hartley or staff with regards to this business item? Okay, I have a few questions if nobody else is there wanting to ask. I noticed in the units for development, so from looking at this report and then the previous report from the past quarter, in terms of units that are under development, the number from the previous report was 213 in total, and the number for this report is 170, for which I presume between the last meeting and now 43 affordable housing units have come online. Is that correct, Director Hartley?
Yeah, thank you. Through you, Chair Ridge. I will turn this over to Amy Gibson, who's on the call, who will be able to speak to that. Sorry, Amy.
Oh, sorry. Amy, if you're able to speak.
There she is.
There we go. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. And through you, Mr. Chair, sorry about that, just having some technical difficulties here. Yeah, so in terms of the previous report, I'm just looking to cross-reference the projects that were shared. In the April 16th council report, I think the difference that we might be seeing is specific to our recent project that came online at Princess Street, which would be our cooperative housing unit. I think that would be the difference, Mr. Chair, through referencing those different units specifically. And I can't give you that exact address at the moment, but I believe it would have been 1316 Princess Street. Sorry, 1336 Princess Street. So 1336 Princess Street, which is the Kingston Cooperative Homes, and we brought on 38 units at that time, both 1 and 2 bedrooms, and they are operating and functioning and doing really well. So we're really pleased to see that project get going.
Fantastic. Fantastic news. Thank you. I noticed the Barbara Street units as well, just cross-referencing them. Thank you very much for confirming that. Another thing that I noted in the rise of use for units, I noticed that the rise in employment income, there was between the previous report and this one, there was an increase in the number of those using these services from employment income and also from CPP, OAS. Has it been an observable trend that more senior citizens are accessing these services over the last year or so? Sorry to throw these questions at you, but something that I've read in literature. So I was wondering if that was the case here. Thank you.
Thank you. Through you, Chair Ridge. I will just look to group being new. I'm just, Mitchell. I will call on Mitch Grange to support that question.
Hello, Mitchell. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Councillor Ridge, and through you. So if I understand correctly, the question, this is specific to social housing units and the distribution of income throughout the applicants. I don't have the actual numbers in front of you to say based on, well, I can see it here, but the subsidiary wait lists and who's applying for housing, but we have seen an uptick in seniors applying for housing, or sorry, older adults, but the 65 plus. From month to month, or kind of looking at it over year, we only have obviously a set amount of housing units that are targeted towards a mandate of seniors. So we are seeing our wait list expand somewhat in terms of wait times. Wait times used to be anywhere between 6 months to a year, 2 years for seniors, and now it's upwards of 1 to 4 years. So that would indicate that there definitely is a shift and a need potentially for greater supports with seniors. Yeah, so that would correlate to the increase in the OAS CPP income. I hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I don't have any additional questions with regards to this report. Mr. Clerk, are there members of the public present?
Through you, Mr. Chair, there are no members of the public present.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you for speaking to this item. Moving on, there are no motions. There are no notices of motions. Is there any other business? Seeing none. No correspondence. The date of the next meeting. The next meeting of the Housing and Homelessness Advisory Committee is scheduled for Thursday, October 10th, 2024 at 1 p.m. Which brings us to adjournment. Can I have a mover and a seconder for adjournment, please? Yep, moved by Tara, seconded by Jackie. All those in favor? Thank you very much, everyone. The meeting is adjourned at 1:22 p.m. Have a great afternoon. Take care.